Why is my hat so crooked? I have a crooked head.
It's your whole face. It's not.
I don't think anybody's gonna watch because everybody's at SPAC.
Well, they'll watch maybe later.
Yeah, everybody at SPAC.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We have 0. We have a big goose egg.
No, we got 1 watching on YouTube. So that's awesome.
I can't ever tell. It says 0 on here. So yeah. Yes, I don't know. We have. I don't have my. I got a new Mac and I just now tried to hook up the R3 because my Fuji broke, so having a little bit of a camera problem. But at least the camera on this isn't too bad. Everything's in focus though.
I think it looks decent.
Yeah, it's not bad actually. I mean, it'll work in a pinch.
Emily Hart Davis, I see. She is on a whirlwind. She was up. Did you see her when you were up at Imaging?
I did. I saw her at the Fuse bar.
Of course, it was at the bar. Weird.
Yeah, I saw her at the bar. That's all. Yeah, it was. We just got back from Imaging, or I just got back from Imaging. I just did it for one day. The trade show. You haven't been to Imaging before, right?
I never have.
Yeah. So the deal is when we first went, it took you like a good 2.5 days to walk through the trade show.
Mm-hmm.
You never felt like you got to really. You had to go through one day and kind of get an overview, and then you like write down all the people you want to go back to talk to, and you go back and talk to them, and then the final loop would be like actually buying stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that slowly, I feel like it really degraded over the years. And last year was just, I mean, it was kind of decimated for 2021 with COVID because there was the Omicron that came up right at the last minute, you know?
Yeah.
And this year it actually felt, again, kind of like it used to be. Not fully, but pretty close. The Canon had a gigantic booth. Gigantic. It was huge. The biggest one I've ever seen them have.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. But
after telling everybody you weren't going to go to any of those, you went to one. You're a live face.
I just went to the trade show. I didn't go to any of the classes. So I finished up a basketball shoot, went to the trade show for a day, and then came back and shot another basketball shoot.
I've had basketball every day almost, or I do my Miss Clatsop County thing every year. So we had the princesses, and then
wait. Don't just go over that.
What?
Miss class. Yeah, did she what?
So I do Miss Clatsop County. I've done it for 10 years now.
Beauty pageants.
It's beauty pageant. Yeah. Do you know how hard those girls work for a little slice of money? I'm not kidding. Like, I didn't realize, I know it sounds crazy to say this out loud. But those girls, they work hard for a very small amount of money if they place in something. So they're in those for scholarships. It's not so much, it's not as much about the beauty part that you think it is that, we probably grew up thinking it was. When you're in that whole atmosphere with those people, those women or girls turning into women, they're getting taught a lot of life lessons really fast, and some of it's not easy. And I have a lot of respect for them, to be honest. They work hard for a little bit of money if they win.
Don't make me seem like an ass. I was just
you are. You are.
I just wanted to talk about you photographing it. I have no doubt those girls work hard. It's like that you're the
big fat bearded guy in his 40s is photographing that. Yeah.
Yeah. The construction, the logger is taking their photos.
I definitely gotta watch the language a little bit more when I'm around the group of people for sure. So
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
it's fun though. It's easy. It's fun to take pictures of pretty people, right? It makes life easy that day.
I got my first. I guess it's the newly found Instagram stuff that we have. Karina said I got a new commercial shoot somebody sent me, which is interesting. I'll have to tell you a little bit more about that offline, but yeah, it's interesting.
Wait, you can't gloss over that. You didn't let me gloss over you didn't let me gloss over the Clatsop County. You can't gloss over a big commercial job.
Yeah, I'll be canceled.
Did you sign an NDA already? What, is there already agreements in place? How's this work? I don't know. I've never been big.
No, it was just it was an interview. It was just an email about the job, and I cannot discuss I'll have to discuss later. It's not like
I hate people like you the most. Don't even bring it up then if you can't talk about it. I don't know why you said anything. Yeah. What's your Instagram at right now? 120?
No, it's less. It's kind of really it's really throttled back. So I don't know.
Because you haven't been posting videos every other day like you were.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like it goes up and down. Like some videos that I think are fantastic, they don't do anything. And I have one video that I shot probably 8 weeks ago now, and it's just going off like crazy. It's like just
all of a sudden,
like in the last week, all of a sudden it jumped from like 700,000 views to over 2 million, just like that. Like I don't know, like who reposted it. I no rhyme or reason, and it's not even. It's okay. It's not great. The last couple that I put out, I felt like were really good, and nothing.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know. I don't put that much effort in. I probably should. I mean, if you're still over 100,000 followers though, right? Like,
oh yeah. I mean, I'm still gaining followers.
You know what's crazy about that? Like what we were talking about, how years went over. You know, you get this certain number of followers on there, and how you get treated a little different when you're at those trade shows now. Yeah,
you get treated different because you have, in order to talk to any brands, if you want to talk to any brands, you have to have a social media presence, which, the only social media presence I ever had was on Facebook, because the way I did my packages and, the volume photography groups, but it's a very small community, 5,000, 8,000. They want to see hundreds of thousands of people. So I guess I have that now, which is good. So, I mean, I don't think that, you know what I mean? Like, maybe you get treated different from 100,000 to 200 to 500. I don't know, but maybe it's like the same 100. But I'm just gonna post and not worry about it.
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah, because
I think if you have expectations going into that, like you didn't have any real expectations, you were just
right.
trying something new, and it blew up, which is amazing. So, I mean, that's a testament in itself. If you're ever thinking about doing something, just do it, see what happens, right?
Yeah, and then I'm not gonna put any pressure on myself. I'll post when I can post, but I don't. Unfortunately, we're not in a position where we have to have Instagram followers. You know what I mean? The business, our business. If I stop posting on Instagram today, our business is going to be just fine. So that is kind of being a good spot to be in, where you don't really have to feel like you have to force something. You can just do it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then who cares?
Right. Have you got a big fat check from Instagram yet? They send you that $30 for your video?
I don't know. I don't even know if they send me the money they owe me. They owe me like $90. I have to check. It's through Stripe, so I have to go through Stripe and
that's funny.
Check. That Stripe just goes, because we have photo day through Stripe. So you just get deposits every day. So you have to go back there and look.
Right.
There should be some money hidden in there, but yeah. Are you upset about not being in Vegas? How many times have you gone to SPAC? Just the one time?
No, I've been to SPAC. I've been 3 times before I even knew you guys.
No. Because
I think so. I met you at SPAC.
Yeah.
And I was there before that 1 year.
Oh, 1 year. Okay. What year was that?
I don't know. Was it 2018?
Okay, so like you went back to back?
I got to double check. I thought I went 3 years in a row.
Yeah, it'd be fun to go to the golf tournament and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had that until the last one.
It's funny because Stevie, my niece Stevie works at Photo Day, and she's there representing Photo Day. And me and Karina just talked about it this morning, like, because we've been going to SPAC since Stevie was like a teenager, So
and
the
now
fact
she's
that,
going without you.
Yeah, it's like Stevie's at SPAC and we're not. That's really weird.
Crazy how Imaging and SPAC and Sync, like they're all literally back to back to back to back.
Yeah, so Sync's in February.
Yeah. I think like people are like flying from one to the next without even going home, I think.
Yeah, the guys that I was with, Joey and Angry Joey and Paul, like literally they went to the show, and I mean they did the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then flew out Monday to go to Vegas, and they did the full Nashville party Saturday and Sunday. Oh man, and they had to go to the golf tournament like Tuesday.
So you're drinking Bloody Marys at 8 a.m., swinging the club, just hungover, loving life. Yeah, that's the life I want to live. I like that.
Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's just too much. It's like I had to drive back and do shoot yesterday. No.
Oh. Can't do it. We got to shoot. That's why we're doing this, by the way, now, is because Jay and I are so busy the next coming week. We didn't know when we could sneak one of these in. But yeah, I've got 2 shoots. I got a high school senior this afternoon, if the weather holds, and then I got basketball again tonight. Just basketball. Yeah,
we had basketball yesterday. It was a little bit crazy. We had we had to jam in 50 teams into an elementary school sized gym, and the elementary school will not let you in. Like the way it worked is we had all of our schedule set for, we're gonna start at 5:45. And we're like, okay, we need to get there at 4:45. We need to be let into the gym, right?
In the morning?
No, after school.
After
okay. School. So
this wasn't an all day,
right? And so we had to do 4 of these because it's that big league. So we had to do 4 of these weekdays, where it'd be about 50 teams. So we're like, all right, we need an hour setup because we have to set up 2 lines. I mean, it's an elementary school size court. It is not a high school size court. There's a big difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, huge difference in the room.
And, yeah, and one of them is like literally, you walk in the door, and there's the court. Like there's no waiting lobby area. It's just everybody's inside the gym. So you start adding up the numbers. You got 2 teams every 5 minutes. And then you talk about parents, brothers and sisters, all the stuff.
God, you were doing 2 teams every 5 minutes?
Yeah, 2 teams every 5 minutes.
Whew, we were doing 1 every 5, and we were getting beat up in the beginning. But then when we had a couple skip, it was boring. We got caught up fast.
Right. But yeah, that sounds right because you just had you shooting. We had me and Jody shooting.
Yeah.
So yeah, so same thing.
But I shoot still, like 2, basically. So.
But it was just a lot of people, a lot of people, and then we're getting ready to go to the shoot, or that morning they let us know that we can't get into the gym till 6 p.m. and our first shoot was at 5:45.
Already 15 minutes behind. 6 teams behind. Haven't even started setting up.
Hadn't even set it up. Hadn't even set up. So we're like, that's like what the hell? And that's a lot of people coming. So that's when it's good when you have a good local presence on Facebook. So we put it out there on Facebook, like, hey guys, we do not have the gym. We have to push everything. We just push everything back an hour. So if your shoot is at 5:45, it's now 6:45. And we put that on Facebook, and we just had one family show up like early. And so it got out. Yeah. But we had to set up it was a big setup. Crowd control is a big deal when you have that small space, right? So you just don't have to set up your lights. You have to set up the lights and make sure that you have room to create lines to get those teams in and out, get them over to the team area and out the door, so it's like a big, it's a big puzzle. Yeah. And so, me and Jody were handling the lights. Scott and Karina were handling the crowd control. So it's kind of, it's tough. It's tough, but we handled it. Just got 1 more of those shoots left. They're crazy.
Yeah, we had 4 with the 28 team, 4 people there. 5. It's me, 3 daughters, and then Emily. So yeah, it was 5 of us, and it got crazy. Luckily we had the 5 there. Otherwise you start going a little bit nuts because there's just too much chaos, too much going on. And those little gyms get so loud. Holy cow. If you don't have a good poser or somebody helping with the kids on the other end, you can't scream loud enough for them to hear you.
No, and you kind of feel like an ass because you're like, no basketball. So poor kids are coming in there, and the first thing they want to do,
they want to shoot.
They want to hit. They want to start dribbling that basketball, and you can.
Well, and by the end of it, they always are. Yeah, they're always. Yeah. There's 4 or 5 of them always by the end. The last few teams shooting,
and it just like grates on you because you got you're surrounded by people, and this basketball starts bouncing. You're like, oh my god, somebody stop that! You can hear. It's like you can hear the basketball through everything. You know what I mean?
Hear it through your lens. Yeah.
And yesterday I look over and it's a coach. It's a coach, and he's like doing Steph Curry drills. I'm like, dude, can we not be Steph Curry right now? You're the coach.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a trip, but it was working out good. We're getting it done. All those things are like little challenges that just make you better.
Yeah.
And the staff is good now.
If your technique's good and your staff knows what they're doing, none of that stuff will matter. You'll still get good stuff, Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like people are impressed because they go and they see what the setup, like the chaos, and then what the actual product looks like. And so that's a big deal, So it's a good idea to have a good Facebook presence in your community. So that way you can, relay to people what's happening. If there's a good change, if there's a sudden change in schedule that's out of your control, we didn't want it to seem like it was our fault. So that worked. And also to be able to show them the results. If you have a shoot that there's nothing you can do about the chaos because it's just this pure amount of people coming in and out of that small space is that there's nothing, unless you want to make people wait outside in the rain. So to be able to show the photo afterwards, it's like, okay, it seemed like it was a little bit crazy, but here's the product. So I promise you it's worth going into that crazy gym.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with pools. Like I was just thinking about all that while you were talking about that. Like the swim team I just shot, same thing. Like you can't hear that either, especially because you got the pool's open. So there, it's a public pool where we were. So you start getting all the kids swimming on the other end of that big warehouse. Holy cow. You can't hear anything in the pools either.
Well, you posted your pool photos. I mean, the same thing. How did the community react to that? Did people get more excited about the photos being posted, or what was the?
Yeah, absolutely. That photo got a lot of traction. It was good. It was fun. I got a great expression out of one of the athletes. So that was one of my favorite pictures so far of the year. Really, really cool. It was fun and the community loved it, so that helps you as a photographer. If you do have that strong Facebook presence, you can post one of the images. The whole community talks about it, and then people that may have, they didn't quite remember what your name was, they remember after that, and then they start calling again. So,
Well, the trend is, of course, the trend is smoke, gels, water, on and on and on.
Color, bright colors, yeah.
So I've been seeing a few comments, in the groups about people like, it's what everybody's doing, just kind of, I guess, a little bit negative towards doing all the things.
Well, because it's a lot more work, right? It really isn't, though. It's not that much more.
No, just it being the trend and like everybody's doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but why are they all doing it? Because it works.
Like this, the thing is, I think you have to be careful of is like, okay, is it a trend amongst photographers or is it a trend amongst, your customers? I mean, we see it because we're showing something different. And so we might see it a lot in the groups, but I don't think that the parents, they haven't ever seen it before.
Listen, that's bullshit. You know why? Because I went and did a shoot last fall. We got it all done. The whole volleyball team came up to me and said, "Can we do a smoke shoot? Do you know how to do the smoke?" I said, "What?" Yeah. She pulled out her Instagram or her TikTok. It's all over their phones. My kids are showing me yours. Remember, my youngest daughter or whatever came up to me and said, "No, this guy," joking because she knew I already knew who you were. She recognized the bald spot like immediately, and I was like, "Yeah, I know Jay." So anyway, so that's not true. So it might be a trend amongst us. We may have started that trend, but who really started it was Bradell and Rocktown and all those guys when they started posting all those, those posed action stuff. That's what made it take off. I don't know that started it, but those guys' reels were first for sure.
Right. Well, it was, they rekindled the trend.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it hasn't been here. Yeah.
Yeah. I got smoke and water photos and all that stuff from like 10 years ago.
Well, same with like you look at Rose Coleman's dance stuff, like she's always used the gel stuff, and it's amazing, right? So
and she used those little radio DJ lights, like she does it. She's done
a she was the beginning of the Pavo tube trend, really, if you think about it, because you and I started talking about her circular DJ lights and wondering how she got them so bright in the photo, and then you went and bought Pavos, and then pretty soon everybody was shooting with Pavos. Like they sold out of them. You couldn't even get them anymore. That's how crazy that was.
I've got to do it. I got a cheer thing, big cheer gym. I don't even say the name because Rose will try to steal it from me.
She might. Timmy will. Rose might not. Rose is pretty respectable, but Timmy,
he's a shark. Yeah. Attack. That's what he like. Yeah, he's gonna be.
They probably need another one. Disney World's not cheap, but they just had a good time there. Like I'm jealous. You hate Disney World though.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with. My kids are grown. I don't need to do that ever again. I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, Lisa and Ed and Kathleen, they love the Disney World, but I like to go to the pool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I like the beach.
Pretty cool facility.
Yeah.
I mean, Ed and Kathleen, Martin, they're out of Charlotte, North Carolina. They're great photographers, got a good company, but they love Disney, but they really leverage all of the benefits of Disney. They were just out in Hawaii for a week, and wait till you see their story. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. don't you want to like relax sometimes? Like you don't have to do volume pictures every week.
No, I think they had a trip in Hawaii and they did some banners for high school out there, and I think their purpose was, first of all, the Disney resort or the Disney hotel or property was right down the street from the high school, and they're using it as a tax write-off since it's a business trip. So that's a
not
pretty
a bad plan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good, cool. So I think he wants to, it's a good reason to go to Hawaii every year.
Just take a couple landscape pictures. What do you mean? You don't got to do all that. Like print one,
Look,
hang it on a wall and put $5 up on it.
Why do you gotta be such an ass? He's doing it for the children. He's doing it for the children.
No, I'm the ass. At the beginning, it was you, and it was transferred to me.
I had to swing that back.
That's nice.
I just swing it back. Nice. Yeah. So, I got to hang out a lot with the legend James Quantz Jr. at Imaging a lot. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys sent me a nice picture. That was nice.
Yeah, that was a good one. I wish I had it pulled up. I think Lisa has that. But that was fun because that was his first Imaging USA.
Huh. Why does he not go to more of that stuff? I guess he's always working, probably doesn't need to.
Yeah, it's not really, I don't think it's in his wheelhouse. Like, what does he need to go? I mean, the only reason why he's kind of going now, I think, is, he had his Pro Light Mod jacket on. So he had all kind of photographers coming up to him and asking about the Pro Light mods and stuff. So it was good for him to be there, I think, just to his presence, because it's different now. He's kind of in this world.
He did that to himself.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I don't feel bad for him.
Yeah. So now he's kind of in this world. So he's having to, to go to the, he had a good time though. He said it was, a little bit overwhelming the first time you go to one of those big things.
Yeah. When those conferences are huge. I mean, if you don't know people when you go to those, I remember going to like WPPI the first time, knew nobody, and holy cow, it was just so, that was when it was at the MGM. It was huge. They said there was 40,000 photographers there. I mean, I don't believe that number necessarily, but there was a lot, and it was very overwhelming.
Like, it was interesting because we got to hang around with some PPA people, like they're like the portrait, people like they were like on the boards and judging the photo contest and all. And when you tell them that you're a sports guy, they're still like,
they're like, so what do you do?
What do you do? Like, what is that? Why are you here? Like, what is? Yeah.
Well, it's like the F-stopper guy not knowing about our industry, like, what do you mean you don't know what this industry of photographers is doing? We don't keep it that secret. He said we were a secret industry. We're not, everybody knows what we're doing.
I don't know. Like, I think I don't know that that's true. I think that, I don't think that people know that there's good money in it. That's what I think. I think they know that it exists, but I think that we're the lowly, on the totem pole. We're the bottom.
And why is that? Because the pictures used to just be vanilla, because it had to be simple.
I think so. I mean, I think there was. I think it was an earned stereotype for a while.
Yeah. It was earned.
Yes, I think
rightfully so. Maybe in some cases. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you go out there and you try to do a little bit different, and you feel like you're not, just shooting on camera flash, take a knee, with a 50 millimeter.
God, one of those popped up on my memories the other day on Facebook, and I was just like, I don't even want to, I'm not sharing this. I can't share this work.
Yeah. So I saw my baseball pictures, the other day when I'm like unpacking boxes.
The 12-year ago memory stuff. And you're like, no. And
they were so bad. So I mean, if that's the reputation, like, okay, these guys, only thing they're doing is just making a buck, then
I feel like I should give money back to some of my clients back then, knowing what I know now. Like, I feel bad.
Well, I mean, I don't think so. Like, you're probably still better.
I mean, I worked hard. I thought it was good at the time, I guess. So there's that.
Well, we never did those images because we couldn't, because our competition was doing those images and we weren't given as much money back. So we had to figure out how to do it, and I just took one league at a time. And, me and Karina had to turn down a lot of leagues because we weren't ready, You
couldn't take them.
Couldn't take them. We didn't know how to do it. Like, we knew how to take, just one line and one team photographer, and that was it until we figured out how to really scale it. We had to be, really patient with it. So I think it's hard for because there's so much information out there now. There's so many workshops you can go to where you can get the learning curve of your photography. You can reduce that by years, like literally years.
Yeah.
Years. But that doesn't mean that your sales process, that learning curve, your relationships, how you do all, how you get into leagues, that's a learning curve. That's a whole different ball game. That's like a marketing sales. And people are like, I know I don't want to do that. I just want to be a photographer. And you have to be really good at both in order to grow. So very few of us can take photos so good that you don't have to do sales,
Yeah.
I mean, even James talks about it, like he was cold. Like he would go to whatever show used to be in New York City.
NAB?
No, there's another show in New York City.
CES.
There's some imaging show. But anyways, he would go there and he would take his portfolio and go cold call on ad agencies. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's a fantastic photographer, but he had the hustle there too, where he had to go cold call, like regular sales stuff that nobody who's getting a photography degree is going to be trained on marketing. You know what I mean? Right. And sales and relationships and that stuff. There's no way to shortcut that. And especially
in some instances, you have to just create it. Like we didn't sports. I had sports images as a kid here. Right. But it went, I think there was a 11, 12, maybe a 15-year period of life in this town where nobody was getting sports pictures. So when I came in and started doing it again and chasing one team at a time, I was basically recreating the whole business again, because it didn't exist at the time. And that's been, I've over time had to, help and adjust and get leagues and stuff to help me put everybody together more so that we don't have to chase one team at a time, because instead of being busy 365 days a year, you want to cut that number down whenever you can. So, the more teams we could get into one place, the better. So we created that industry again here that never really existed. So, and sometimes you have to do that. So,
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess if anything about my competition, they did a good job of
creating that.
Yeah, keeping that tradition alive. Yeah, somebody saying it just says Facebook user. Schools used to be way more secretive back in the PSPA.
Oh, I'm sure it's days. Nick.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I've never been a school photographer, so I wasn't ever trying to get in there with that.
I think those are still. You're not just going to jump right into school photography.
No, that was funny, and that's what that F stoppers. That video, I think they were talking about schools. They're talking about newborns
and schools.
Yeah, dude, you're not just, I mean, come on. You're not just going to hop in there. It's not like this open, it made it perceive like, hey, it's this wide open market. It is not.
Right. No.
A wide open market.
That hospital thing, like you can't just be a photographer and walk in when somebody just has a baby and say, let me take pictures of your baby. That doesn't happen. No. Like hospitals don't let you in to do that.
No.
So you have to kind of already have that in too. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff glossed over, so to speak.
Yeah. And that's what my sister does that. She has a baby photography business where she goes into the hospital. They do a great job, and you have to have, there's a lot to it. Like, you're going into somebody's hospital room that just had a baby. I mean, there's a lot of,
I don't know that I'd let somebody random around my baby with a camera right out of the gate. That'd be tough.
Yeah. There's a lot of bedside manners that you have to do. You can't just come busted in there.
Right.
Chaos.
I guess we're being attacked. Apparently the house is being marauded.
Brian Durinsky's here. Is he in Las Vegas? I wonder if
Brian's everywhere. What's up, Brian?
He was
in that photograph you sent me too, by the way.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. He was in Nashville.
Yeah. He waved hello to me as well. That was nice of you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good. Yeah. And talking about workshops too, there's a lot of, there's a lot of new workshops. Like, I think, I'll be interested to see over the next few years, where people will spend their money. Are they going to spend the money on trade shows or workshops?
Or both? Yeah. I've always done both. This year's different. We're running a little thinner trying to get our studio up and going and getting our building done. So we're just saving as much money as we can. So the less traveling this year, the better for me.
No, but what I'm interested in is like the way is the industry's going. You know what I mean? Like it's, I've had a workshop for a few years, and there's some more people coming up with workshops. And what are people going to do?
Are you worried about people not choosing you over them? Maybe.
No. I'm saying like, there's the SPAC, Sync, and Imaging USA, right? Those are basically I think there's a new SPOA or something like that. I don't know if they have a show or anything, but are people going to go to those, or are they going to go to the smaller workshops? That's what I'm curious about. You know what I mean?
I think it depends on price, availability, all those things.
Level of, like, maybe people who are newer into the industry are going to go to my thought is they'll go to the big, imaging SPACs, and then people who have a little bit more experience, maybe have been to the shows, might end up going to a smaller workshop.
Yeah, I mean they're less intimidating, I think, right? I would think.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's whether or not people want to be a part of a big group or a small group. I mean, I think both, because I want to go to a few workshops outside of our industry this year. I'd love to go to Peter Hurley's workshop. John Grease has a workshop in Charlotte. He's a great portrait photographer.
I like got one in Portland. He just had one. I missed it. Yeah, he is good.
Yeah, we got to meet him. He was at Imaging, so got to spend some time with him. Yeah, he was a really cool guy. He was pretty funny. So I like to go to those, and then I feel like the Imaging USA, the Syncs, the SPACs, I just don't think that you can. What's great about those, you get all those photographers in there, and the exchanging of ideas is where those really shine. You know what I mean? The classes, you might pick up a nugget or two, but really having conversations with other photographers, I think you can't duplicate that with small workshops, right?
No, not when you get all the, you get a group of people like the names you just dropped in one sitting, and you start discussing work and topics about that. Like that's priceless. That's information you didn't even know you were going to get. And it's usually the best. So yeah, that networking is, and that's when I think of networking and communicating with other people. That's where I've always gotten the best nuggets, I think, and been able to come home with the best information. So both. There's a great class though too. So I mean, yeah, you never know. You just got to try them all. You got to try and figure out what works for you. If it doesn't work, you're not going to do the same thing the next year. You have more options. So,
well, and I think that there's I'm big about community and camaraderie and all that sort of stuff, and it's just fun. Like to go to a big show and be around thousands of people, and the variety of conversations that you can have, I just think is a good time. It's like you work so hard all year round. And last year we sat and Justin literally drank 20 pitchers of margaritas. We sat in the same. Yes, you did. Yes.
I think it was 17.
I mean, 17, 20. What is.
You were exaggerating, but I wasn't by myself. Tracy helped me.
Yeah. Just
Ed
you
and Tracy helped.
Barely. No. You and Tracy. 17. We sat in the
Tracy
same spot.
Tracy is a dog, though. He is a man. He's a big boy. He can handle a couple pitchers. He's all right.
Yeah, but he's we sat in that spot for 8 hours. So, that was a good time.
We didn't learn much. We didn't really learn.
Yeah, so somebody here said, I don't know who is on Facebook, says small potatoes operator here. I want a smaller experience. Maybe because I'm half introvert. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Is that Kimberly Malone?
Teichrow.
Okay.
I'm not going to try to mess that up.
Yeah, but that's it's good, understood. But that's also the exact reason why you need to go to a bigger show too. To get to know some people, and maybe, if you find a friend in smaller workshops, then you go together, and then kind of helps, take the pressure off. There's the classes, and you don't talk to anybody, then that's only like you're getting a quarter of what you could get out of the show, in my opinion.
Man, I feel bad for her a little bit. Like it would be tough to be a volume photographer and be introverted, because you're always around a lot of people when you're in the volume world.
Yeah.
That'd be tough.
I mean, but the thing is, if you're at your shoot and you're in control and it's your thing, then I think that's probably more of a comforting situation where you can, not be so introverted. Like if you're trying to direct a shoot of 130 football players, that might be a tough ask. But when you're just dealing with 8 basketball players, you can usually get through that.
Yeah,
get through that.
I don't know. Just feel bad.
Yeah, see, that's what she just said. She's half
What?
introvert. She's super comfortable at shoots. Yeah.
Just half.
So there you go. Yeah. So, I mean, and the one thing about small workshops, I think you have to make sure that you understand going on, because those are expensive. They're a whole lot more expensive than the other workshops. Is know what you're going to get, right? Are you getting lighting workshops? You're getting business advice? You're getting both? Or are you getting green screen, natural lighting? You'll really find out what you're getting and what you're going to come away with, and make sure it fits, like it accomplishes the things that you want to get in your business. Like, but I think I'm important. Like if I went to a Hurley workshop, it's a headshot. I'm not a headshot photographer, but I think just the technical aspects and learning how he communicates with the subject is what I'd be trying to get out of it.
Love how he communicates with people. I bought his F-stoppers class years and years and years and years ago, and it was great. And that was what I remember the most about it, honestly, was how quickly he would communicate with a subject, right in front of the camera, and how he gets a good expression. It takes him a while to get to that, but it's his technique on how he gets there is what's really cool.
Yeah. And I think he is more of a communication type guy, not so technical, where Grease is really technical. So he's using light meter with everything. And like me and James were sitting there, was like, man, what is that thing? We haven't seen one of those like in forever. And so he's like, he's using Elinchrom. He's an Elinchrom guy. And remember when he put out that video about Godox? Yeah.
Didn't he took that video down?
I don't know. He was still defensive about it. The thing about it though is I feel like people didn't watch the whole thing. All they saw was the headline, or the first thing is that Godox wasn't a professional light, and they freaked out. And he had a lot of good points. He had so many good points. But anyways, he was controlling his Elinchroms from the light meter. You know what I mean? Like he was like, okay, so it was pretty good. So I'd like to go to that workshop to get a little bit more technical.
You can do that with your light meter with Godox.
Yeah.
I have one. I have a L958U.
And you can do that.
Yeah. I don't know what I do. It was just on my desk for like 2 weeks. I bought it. It's expensive and I don't use it.
I think the problem with it not using is like, a good example was yesterday when we had that shoot, and we had literally like we got in the gym at 6 o'clock. They had a note on the door: do not come in until 6 o'clock. So we're like, okay, we can't come in until 6 o'clock. And our first shoot was at 6:35, right? So we had to get all our gear in. So it was 5 lights per athlete. So that's 10 lights and 2 lights for the team shot. So we had to set up 12 lights, lines, sails, A-frame, crowd control, all that stuff. We had to get done in 35 minutes. I did not have time to meter anything. And I think that's oftentimes where we're setting. Like if we're giving a long time, then okay.
If I had a line out there and I was in front of the kid, checking all my people would probably walk out the door on me. Like they'd be like, okay, I've watched this guy long enough. I'm leaving.
Yes.
Yeah. Just set the light up. Does it look good? Cool. Move on. Let's go. Next. Come on. Get caught up.
Yes,
Sometimes
exactly.
That's just how it goes. And, most of the time, it doesn't matter how much time I feel like we give ourselves sometimes too. We'll still run into, if we're set up 15 minutes before we're supposed to, and we're getting close to where it looks like we could be taking photos, they'll start lining up if they're there. Yeah. So you feel like you're behind, even if you're not right out of the gate. That happens literally every shoot if you go early. So. Well,
if you're behind, like a trick that I like to do, just little, tidbit from doing this all the time, is that if you're late, like let's just say they're like, coach, like, hell no, you're not using this field. You got to go over here. So you have to take all your gear down and move it, or you're late, or you can't get in the gate. There's a number of things that can happen to where you're in a huge rush and you have literally 5 minutes before the first team scheduled, or you're already starting late. I always get one line set up. Like if I go with multiple lines, I'm like, okay,
get Jody, one moving.
You get your line set up. Let's just start taking photos. No team photo. I'm not worried about crowd control, nothing. Just go ahead and start taking pictures. That'll help you at least get the ball rolling, and then you can just start. So then you can continue setting up, have one line going, then get caught back up.
Yeah, great tip. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to have somebody that knows how to set up doing that, or you got to have somebody that knows how to shoot when you're doing that, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because that can get you in a bind really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw some other things at Imaging USA that game changing, life changing stuff that were.
I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, I just texted them before we got on there, telling me how to do a couple other things with some software. We won't announce it quite yet. We're going to wait till.
I couldn't find all the goodies you were talking about on it
because it just came out.
Yeah, it's not even out. Even they're not even released yet. So
right,
that's interesting.
Right, and it'll be free to use. So just stay tuned. Justin and I are going to try to do it once a week. So hopefully we'll have an update for you. Like we're going to put it won't be
because of me. It'll be.
No, that's not. That's y'all know that's not true. Yeah, it's not only that we're both busy, but we're a 3-hour time change or difference. That's always tough too because you're going on to shoot after this, right?
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
What are you shooting?
High school senior, and then basketball tonight.
The seniors because senior season here is usually summertime.
Mine's just kind of year round, except the spring.
Because don't they do seniors there? They can submit your photos for the yearbook. Is that the way it goes?
Yes, and we're not on contract to do that like East Coasters. We're different. They seniors get to choose. I'll go do the high school pictures from freshman to 12th. Seniors just come for picture day, just like they always have their whole lives, and then they get to choose their own senior portrait. They can hire their own photographer to put their own portrait into the yearbook that year. And that's how our senior season runs. And schools have different deadlines for that. It's sometimes in the same counties, or not the same district, I guess, but most of the time same counties. Like we have 3 high schools. They all have different deadlines. One's in October, one's right at the end of October, one's in January, one's in March. So depending on, we always get a big rush 2 weeks before whoever's deadline. And so then it becomes this panic for about 2 weeks before these are all due to get everybody's done, no matter what school it is. It's kind of crazy.
So then you have another rush, right?
Big rushes of those. They come in chunks for me.
Yeah.
And I don't promote them. I have a senior page on Facebook. I never post on it. I posted some I tried it on a reel the other day. The reel's not even that good, so it's I don't try to push seniors, and I love to take senior portraits. It's one of my favorites. So, but it's just another thing, right? It's another tool for our business to stay afloat.
Let's see. I'm going to share. I have another thing I want to talk to you about. See, I'm going to see if I can get it. This one. Oh, I can't do it. Dang it.
What?
I can't go to I have to go to my set. I haven't got this laptop set up yet. I have to go to system preferences and do all this stuff to share screen, so I'm not ready yet. Not ready.
Okay, fine. What was it?
Can you share your screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to share this memory on Facebook, and then you can pull it up.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Yeah. This will be good because this is a town that I don't shoot anymore. So maybe it'll rekindle some people like, hey, why don't you come shoot us again?
Here, hold on. Is it the basketball black and white?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I have to put that on there. Add to stream. Okay. So yeah, let's I want to talk about this.
All right. 8 years ago.
That was 8 years ago. Yeah. Great photo, right?
Yeah, I think it's good. Solid. Look how low your backboard is. Everybody always asks me that. We'll get on that later, but go ahead.
Okay. Now okay, let's pull up the one that I posted a week ago. So go to probably next post. 2 posts ago. Another basketball player in red. Her shirt says Liberty.
Let me find my friend Jay.
There he is. Keep going. One more. Right there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So pretty similar, right? I mean, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But there's just one really big difference between the two.
Do you think there's a big difference?
Yeah. Just don't look at the subject.
I'm looking at the backboard. I see the shadows on it.
Yeah. So do you
and
see
I see where you dodged or burned or
Yes.
something here.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know what that is.
well, those are
And these shadows.
yeah, maybe that one I did, but yeah, Brandy's right. Brandy's right here. Hold on a second.
This is done in camera. This wasn't.
No, all exactly what Brandy said. It's just the background depth of field. Right.
Oh yeah.
So that's I mean, we blacked out both, but the
I was thinking
situation
too hard. My bad.
Yeah. So you got to figure that, you know, on the left you have that, and they both look great. There's not a problem. They're both sellable images.
Yeah.
But the backboard is just so in focus right there. So not that that's a problem. I actually like the background, the shallow depth of field better because it's not so intrusive into the photo. And I know people say it's growing out of the back of her head, whatever. I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is if you shot at f/16 to get that look, that dark look, if there was like a piece of paper or a fire alarm or anything by that backboard, you are in a lot of trouble because that is going to be in every photo. So now take it back.
You want to see mine? Is that what you're talking about?
No. What I'm saying is like that is like a debate, like, you know, just black it out by, you know, not shooting 2.8. That's fine. But the thing is, you make a mistake, you are screwed, because especially with photo day now, right? Because if you shoot with one athlete and you shoot, you know, if you have 50 players times 6, that's 3,000, or 50 players, 50 teams. Well, let's just say you come home with 1,600 photos that day. And if you had distracting background, then you're kind of screwed. You know what I'm saying? Compared to, like Justin says there, he's got a lot of distracting stuff out there, but it's out of focus.
Everything. Yeah.
But it's out of focus. So it's no big deal. Well, if you would take my photo on the left there and you would have shot f/16, you would have been able to read the words on those pieces of paper back there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You want to talk about growing out of your head, but I like it. Yeah. I don't care.
But there's some separation there, I think. And you have another photo where it's not growing out of the head, right?
Yeah, plenty. I have plenty. I have a lot of shots of each one.
Yeah, so it's okay.
This gentleman, he came and sat on my lap. We took a picture of his brother. He was so excited. He could not figure out how I darkened it in the camera. He could not believe that it looked so different.
It's like magic.
Yeah, and so he could not get enough. So he took about a dozen pictures that day when we were slow, and he was sitting right next to me doing it. It's pretty cute. There's a video of it. Actually, somebody was recording it. I didn't know. It'll be kind of interesting to see that and put that together. It'd be fun. But yeah, this was a good shoot. This was the 28 team night, and right behind me is utter chaos, like you talked about. Basketballs, 100 people, you know, screaming, yelling.
Yes. That photo that I posted, or the girl in the red right there, yeah, she just had a liver transplant last year, so that's pretty cool. So she was like literally in the hospital a year ago, and so that was kind of that's why I posted that one for her dad, you know, because that was
it's amazing.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. You know what I did yesterday too is I actually had my phone by me because I never really liked the wireless connection, you know, but I was just kind of messing around with it, you know. The Canon R3 is pretty good at that. Like, how's the Sony? Like, because I had my phone and I was taking photos, it wasn't losing connection, even though it did lose the connection. It picked it back up really quick, and those photos were just popping on my phone. As soon as I was taking them,
it works until you need it the most, and then it'll miss a couple, and you won't even know it did it necessarily till the end. So
no, it was fun. I had one of my VIP customers, you know, the guys that get you leagues, those are the VIPs.
Yeah.
And like literally he took the photo, and before his team left, I had texted him the photo of his son, you know, and he's like, "Oh, that's awesome. Thank you." You know, it's kind of cool little parlor trick, you know. Or
I would love to do that. Wouldn't it be awesome to have a setup to where that stuff was just, and I mean, you like to edit yours, but I would love to have mine just go in a gallery immediately.
Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah. I mean, you can. I mean, Canon Color has that, right? I mean,
I guess, but it's not the same. Like, I wanted to go right into my photo day gallery. Photo day. Hint.
Yes. I have no interest in that.
Zero. I know, but I do.
I mean, you gotta. I mean, come on. I mean, you gotta make it a little bit more difficult.
No, it's already hard enough. I want it to be easier. Do you want these up still? Am I done here? Did you already
No,
unshare me?
yeah, they're done.
Yeah, I was thinking too hard, but this is a big deal that this is out of focus. You're right.
Yeah, it's for the background issues, especially when basketball. I mean, hockey. Well, hockey. I shoot with a team in the background, so if you know how sometimes it looks blacked out on your monitor on your camera.
Yeah.
And you pull it in the Lightroom, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's because you're in a rush. It's not like you're tethering and you're seeing the photo. It's because, all right, ice time is precious. So you literally have 20 minutes to shoot this team of 18 athletes, and you got to get teams and individuals. So you got to go. You have as soon as that Zamboni is off the ice, it's like a mad rush. You know what I mean?
And there's I was there with you for that one. You got to be fast.
Yeah, it's fast. There's no time. You got to get it close and go. So if you're shooting an F-16 and it's just not quite dark enough, then you have 20 people in your background.
Yeah.
Bad news.
My background in this pool, same thing. Filthy. You don't want you don't want to see any of this.
Mm-hmm.
There was no reason to see any of that.
Let me share it so people can see. Just pull your photo up. Close that other. Yeah. Yeah. So if it's in focus, then
if all this would have been in focus, yeah, I think you have a huge issue. I mean, it was daylight out and I made it that dark, so, and I didn't dodge or burn this. That's just using that ND filter,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love this. I love this picture. It turned out so good. But see, that's what I mean by expression. So good.
Yeah. Did that one sell yet?
Yeah.
That's what's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So worried about someone's screen. Great question. This is a great question.
What's that?
You see what Mark Sanders said? Look at just the thing.
I mean, I wasn't shooting tethered there. I saw that somebody, I think, thought I was. The kids, I just showed them the back of the camera and they loved it. So,
well, I don't ever shoot tethered for volume shoots because it's impractical.
I do for dance. It's not impractical for dance or schools, but yeah.
But for inside, I just don't want to deal with, things coming unplugged, and it's just no. But I mean, for those little high school shoots, I'll shoot tethered, and I do it just to create the hype. And oftentimes we're already paid. We've already sold them banners, so it's just about the kids' experience. And they're sitting there right there with their phones taking photos, and I don't care. Right. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I hope that the parents buy the good photo, but I feel like the hype that it gets, the talk, is going to be more valuable than them not buying a photo. That's just what I feel about it. And I get a lot of people also who are still asking. I was talking to a photographer in, I think, California that contacted me on Instagram, and he was worried about the theft with Photo Day. And people are going to figure out how to steal. I just don't want to base my whole company on the small percentage of bad people who want to steal your stuff.
They're out there. You're not going to get around it. There's going to be some. I think you're right. I think I used to get mad at it when I was new and I was worried about it. But as years went on, I mean, I remember people really getting upset at weddings when people started shooting, because I went through the era where cameras on these started getting pretty good. And, Uncle John and Aunt Susie had their DSLRs at the same wedding, plus all the iPhones, I kind of want people to take those photos. I want people over my shoulder at a wedding taking the same photo because I want them to know why they paid me. So similarly, in this volume world, they're not going to lean over my shoulder and take the same photo we're getting. Same thing. Right. Even if you shoot the back of the screen, what do you really, I mean, if you're just after the memory for that part of it, you're not my client. Same thing as before. They're just not your client.
I mean, if anything, I could do a better job. Be like, hey guys, y'all post that. Make sure you tag me in it.
That's at least.
I mean? Yeah. I mean, and we're getting a lot of phone calls. I mean, we're getting phone calls from. I mean, they're not the big league. What we want is phone calls from baseball leagues and football leagues. That's the phone calls we really want.
But you've been getting basketball and cheer and
oh no, I've been getting like a lot of senior banner stuff. Which the thing is, it's not the big money, but it's still a good night. It's still a good night, and also. I look forward to those shoots because they're not just a T&I shoot where it's, basically the same setup. We're doing a little bit something different. You can be more creative. You can have a little more fun with it. You can have time to pull out a light meter. Like you can demand more things as well. Cause you're like, okay, that's the look you want from Instagram. Then I need to have this look at, it's just easier to get time, locations, all that sort of thing. They have a specific look that they want.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah. Joining late. Dan Burgess. I wonder if he's in Vegas.
Where is that at? Is he on YouTube? Yep. Hey, dudes. No. He didn't come. He didn't come to Florida, so I missed meeting him in person. Still have yet to meet you, sir. One of these days.
Yeah.
We'll cross paths one day.
Yeah. Dan's out of Greenville and also works for Photo Day. Great. He's a really good photographer. Really good. Yeah. So we're at an hour.
That goes by so fast.
I met two Canon guys, Pete Wright and Bobby Malish. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'd met Pete before, but I got to spend
for a second. You were busy.
You spent some time. And okay. What do you, I don't know if this is really stirring the pot too much, but Dan's in Vegas. So I think that portrait photographers are coming to our volume. That's what I think.
What do you mean you think? Hello? It's already been happening.
I just think it's going to be happening.
You've had them at your boot camps.
Yep.
Like so big ones, rock star ones, coming to boot camp to learn volume. Let that stuff sink in, people.
Yeah.
I came from it. I started dabbling in it and realized immediately once it started growing that it was a lucrative thing if you did it correctly.
Yeah. So there's a lot of talented people that are going to figure out, the secrets, like, we were talking about earlier, in sports photography. Well, I mean, it's not the secrets, but I'm saying the secret that there's a lot of money in this agency or this industry compared to weddings and portraits.
Yeah. Unless you're one of those super high end people in those industries. But even then, you're capped out. You can only do so many of those a year.
You always have to just ask yourself the question of what's the easiest way to make $5,000 in photography. And I feel like this is the easiest way to do it. And, when portrait photographers start figuring that out, but maybe they won't, maybe they won't. Maybe people, I say that, but maybe it's the same as it's always been. You're always going to have a few trickle in and, maybe it does kind of take a special person who's going to want to deal with what we dealt with last night with parents all over you, basketballs dribbling, little kids who are misbehaving. That's not exactly the most glamorous thing. And I think that some of the portrait photographers like that,
I picked up another dance school. Did I tell you that? I'm not trying to cut you off here, but it goes along with what you just said. It takes a special person to deal with that chaos. I enjoy it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's fun. If you don't, you just can't take it that serious and it turns into not that big a deal. But we picked up a whole new dance school because the photographer couldn't deal with chaos a little bit and told one girl to, shut up or something stupid like that. And that was it. Really? That was enough to lose the whole job. That's the second time that's happened to me. So you have to be able to deal with that chaos and you have to act appropriately with it.
Well, James was asking me a bunch of questions about, what we do. He's like, so do you have to have like people posing the kids and getting them all ready and stuff? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh my God. He just like
wants to say that.
Yes. He's just like, I could not deal with that. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's, not too much to worry about because it's still difficult to do. You know what I'm saying?
Not everyone's built for it. It's not.
Right. Let's see. Yes, I did. I'm not sure who this is, but yes, I did.
TJ Turner.
Yeah, I stopped by and I met with Tether Tools, and it was the girl that I thought I took a photo of her card. Let's see, what is that? Custom Experience. What company is that? No, that's. I talked to a young lady who was the social media at Tether Tools. I got her card somewhere. I got to find it.
So did you hear me? That's TJ Turner. So I don't know what her stepdaughter is, but
yeah. So he's so I got to talk to her, and hopefully we'll be doing some stuff with Tether Tools because
Haley.
It
says Haley.
Yes. I think that was super nice girl. So excited about that.
John Rivera wants some basketball posing tips.
Yo, what's up, Kendrick? He's going to Vegas. Yeah. Maybe he's in the airport. Have a good time. I mean, talk to Kendrick. He's he is full of energy. That dude he's great to talk to. So is your wife going, Kendrick? Hopefully you have taken your bride with you. Yeah, Haley was no, don't worry about it. No, he's like some of the projects he has that he's working on. He's not shooting you. Fuck. Yeah, some of the stuff he was telling me about was it was so cool. Like, I can't believe that he's doing that stuff. But he's like, too, he's like pinching himself. He's like, just amazing where your camera can take you,
Yeah.
And he's such a you would have enjoyed though is like he's such a regular dude. And I would just like when he would start talking to somebody, I would love to just sit back like away from the conversation, just kind of watch. And they, people are always asking like, what do you do? This or whatever. And if it ever got to the point where they were, can I see some of your work? I love that. That was so much fun. I should have been filming. I should do Instagram reels on that. Yeah. Watching your reaction when James Quantz pulls out his phone and shows you what he does.
Yeah.
and it's like,
compared to what your stuff looks like. Yeah. You're like, you just want to go jump off a bridge. Yeah. You're like, what am I even doing?
You're like, that Navy uniform on the moon. That is okay.
Yeah, you shot in a $5 million bubble that has amazing graphics for the. It looks realistic. Yeah.
But
I still that shoot. I can't wait for that video for him to talk about how he dealt with the ambient part of that and flash. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, but he was like, totally. Just he wouldn't like walking around with his phone. Like if somebody asked him, he would show the photos, but he's just such a humble guy. So it's
he's a good dude. He's really funny. He's really funny.
Oh yeah,
super witty.
Yeah. So that was a good time. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I didn't get invited. Sad. Left out again.
I wonder where it's going to be next year.
Kendrick didn't even see me. He just said hi to you. It's fine.
It's like you're not even there. You're in your camo shirt.
Like, I know.
You're kind of camouflage.
It's not camo.
I told Justin that we need to be more consistent with our beard in the boat. So maybe we can get some because we just do this for fun. It costs us money because we're paying for the damn StreamYard, so we just do it for fun.
I make Jay pay for it.
Yeah,
his business is bigger. It needs more write-offs.
Yeah. So whatever. And so we're like, well, maybe, when we go to the shows, we can work with some brands. Cause really all Justin and I would ever want to get out of this is free shit. Like
I just want free shit.
Yeah.
Give me free shit.
Yeah. Give me some cords, a camera would be awesome. Just
I want to do Ninja. I need another one.
Just, free shit. Like we don't want to get paid. We just want some free shit.
Send me the new Sony, please. I haven't even seen it.
But I have to take Justin with me because he's the only one with that damn beard. Nobody will ever recognize me.
Yeah, you're pretty plain.
Yeah, Justin, you're so much prettier than me.
You're like a chocolate mocha. You're just vanilla, just lame. You're a basic bitch. You're a basic
just lame. Okay. All right. Okay. One thing, damn it. So I am going to train 3 new photographers, which I'm excited about. Right?
Jesus. Pretty soon you're going to be working anymore. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I got to. I'm so excited. So I am going to get 3 new photographers. And then James started talking about the damn Sony A-something 5, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to see this camera. I didn't get to go see Paul C. Buff's new lights. People were getting, because nobody wanted to go see him. I was walking around with Joey and Paul and James, and nobody wanted to go see the Buff lights, but so I didn't get to see those. So I can't tell you anything about that, the Celestials. But I went over and I checked out the Sony camera and the flippy screen. Okay, the flippy screen's amazing because it's, I always told you that I love the Fuji and the Lumix had the best flip screen for what we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Canon is good, but I don't like how it flips out to the side. I don't know if I.
Well, and if you're tethered too, like that doesn't get talked about. Mine does it too.
That's what I'm talking about. So if you take the Lumix, right, it flips like this. But then when you turn it this way, like that.
Which is money.
Yes, that's so good.
And that's how the Fuji is too.
That's the way the Fuji is. But tethered this way is a little tough too, though, right? Because if you have your tether cord at the bottom, it's hard to get all the way on the ground.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as the Canon. The Canon tethered sucks.
Right.
So does the Sony, for that matter.
Yeah. So the Canon out to the side is this way, and your tether cable is over here. So you can't turn, like if you're holding the camera low angle, you can't turn it like this because the tether cable is right there. So it's unusable for that low portrait.
That low horizontal, yeah.
Right. So
which other cameras are built perfectly for it. Like, so there's just not a perfect one. Why?
But the Sony screen does both.
Right.
It does both. It does all of that. Like it does the Lumix and the Canon at the same damn time.
Hopefully it's strong and it doesn't break. That's what I always worry about with those things. But every camera I've had that I thought was going to break hasn't. So that's been good.
John Scott said is they've been doing those flippy screens since the camcorder days. It's like, when's the last time you know what I'm saying? They've been doing them a long time. So so this the screen for the Sony is badass. And so you know what else was it was 56 meg files, right? But you can shoot in raw medium, which is 26 meg, or raw small, which is like 16. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah. So I don't like I mean, it's cool, but I think the Sony does all around. Because I mean, I don't know who this is, but I do know who this is. That's Nick.
It's
he
Nick,
loves this Fuji. Yeah. Okay, and that's a good question. Dan says he's over here with his Nikon.
Waiting for the Z8.
But the thing is, so I guess I do have a lot of different camera brands, but if you got to buy a new camera, you got to buy a new damn camera.
Yeah, if you need a tool, you need a tool.
It's like, I mean, I guess the only thing that I could argue, like, okay, you need to stick with the same brand is because the colors.
I'm not even arguing that anymore. Nobody notices.
Yeah, no, like for what we're doing, right? No, I mean, we're not doing a commercial shoot, right?
Yeah.
So who really cares? So the Sony, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll train the new guys in the Canon. I'll have the Sony for myself.
I've already beat you to that brand. I got rid of that.
I'm looking around. I'm looking around to make sure that Karina's not behind me.
Get his shoes checked at you from across. I waited for Nikon for a long time, Dan. That's why I switched to Sony. You can't wait for them. You'll be waiting a long time.
I agree. I think Nikon and Fuji has the best colors from what I've used. I don't know.
I don't know. I used to love. They're all good. Listen. Is there really a camera brand out there that sucks?
I mean, the Canon's colors are my least favorite.
I think the magenta is real strong.
They're my least favorite.
But you can fix that. It's not.
It's
raw. It's gone.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. 100%. Pentax.
It doesn't suck. No way. Pentax has some cool stuff right now.
Isn't Pentax micro 4/3 though?
Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's another tool.
Yeah, I know, but it's just hard to get a really good depth of field with that camera, and that's why I went away from the Fuji, the X-T3. I love that camera.
You could buy a 645Z for pretty cheap right now and get a medium format.
Oh, with the Pentax?
Yeah, those are great cameras.
Yeah. Okay, who's this?
Lisa. She's late.
No, who's saying full frame only DSLR?
Nick Shube. He's just commenting back.
Is he? Oh, okay. He's talking about Pentax.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, guys, you can start now.
Thanks, Lisa.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, we're 108. We gotta go.
We got shit to do.
Yeah, I got stuff.
We want free shit. Send us free shit.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking to,
but anyone.
Okay.
The 3 people watching.
Yeah. See, Ross still cut. Yeah. See, Ross will tell you.
Yeah. Oh, look at that picture. Who took that?
That was a boot camp picture.
Yeah. Where are those? I need to post some Columbine football pictures.
Yeah, we can
on my page. Because those pictures were fire.
Do you have a question? Look at that.
What do you use your Ninja for? Well, I used to use it for the beard in the boat because I ran it out of my FX6 and I could run this straight into my switcher. But I do video work on the side. I do a lot, not on the side. I do a lot of video work. So I use this a lot for that. You could use it as a monitor if you didn't have a flippy screen. You could set it up on your, I think Paul Elise has something similar where he tethers this to his camera. So it's just the HDMI so he can see his camera on this. And he puts this on a stand next to his camera. So he just looks over and he can see what his framing is on this separate monitor. So it doesn't have to be a Ninja to do that. You can buy a really inexpensive HDMI monitor for under $100, I think, probably even, and do that if your camera doesn't have the tilty flippy screens. Yeah, I personally think that takes a lot of work to do, and I want the tilty flippy because it's easier.
Yeah,
but it's nice to be able to see this big.
It's the truth is it's for his OnlyFans channel.
Oh, if I had that, I would. I don't think I could retire, or I would have started one of those already.
Yeah,
I could sell foot pictures.
Comments. Reserve.
I could sell foot pictures easy. Yeah. I won't even clean my toenails. I think they sell bath water too, don't they? Do you have? When's the last time you took a bath? I haven't taken a bath for I don't know.
Cream does. That's gross.
We don't. That's a different channel. Well, maybe you need the OnlyFans channel. I don't take baths.
There you go. 7-inch screen.
Yeah. See, $125 from Amazon. Same thing. 7 inches.
Somebody says I don't know.
I asked for free. That's Lisa. Are those the photo day apps?
Yeah. I need to cut. Yeah, you're right. I need to cut this. Justin's out of control. He's only going to get worse. And that, when he starts the comments, you just think that it's going to ease up, but then it just gets deeper.
No, I'm stopping.
All right. Goodbye.
All right. Bye-bye.